Okay, so we talked about food, water, medicine, and energy. The other ones are alliance. And the reason that I put alliance on number one is because once you know exactly how many people are going to be in your alliance, you're going to know exactly how much food you're going to need, how much water you're going to need, how much medicine you're going to need, how many guns you're going to need. You're going to know how big of a territory you're going to need, how many acres, stuff like that, how many animals, how many plants, how big the plot has to be. That is the reason why you want to start with your alliance. You want to know exactly who you want in your corner when crap hits the fan. If we do go to war, if that eventuality that we're going to go to war here in the next month or 10 years, doesn't matter when, the day the nukes start flying, you will be ready and you will know exactly who will be with you. The next thing is plan. The reason that the plan is important is because, as I mentioned a minute ago, you got to know exactly everything you're going to need, who's going to be the managers of, all these categories, and who's going to be the working bees, who are you going to let into your alliance after they realize that they made a mistake for not joining you to begin with. That's it, that all that gets involved in the plan. Who's going to be the communications expert, who's going to be the responsible to train everybody with their firearms, who's going to be responsible for growing a medical garden and how to apply everything that you need to learn from that. All right, so that is the reason you want the plan. We already talked about the food, the water, the medical. Now the tactical, you're gonna need enough bullets to be able to fight a small war. Okay, and right now, even though it hasn't happened yet, the Biden administration is talking about taking out AR-15s or guns of that type. That type of guns, along with the ammo that you would need to be able to protect you and your family and your alliance, especially if an invading force comes through. If you don't have it, it's going to be really tough. But it hasn't happened yet, so hopefully they don't go through with it, and you are able to keep that ammo. You need to understand that everybody in the alliance needs the exact same type of firearm with the exact same ammo. The reason is because you have seen it in the movies, you have seen it in other videos from military videos, and you have seen it everywhere else, that the guns that are the same type, the same model and everything, they can share the same magazine. That's the reason you want the same one. That is the reason why the military uses the same gun. Right? Everybody has the M16s. Everybody has, let's say the Desert Eagle is the sidearm, because they can share the magazines, they can share the bullets, and it doesn't matter who picks up what weapon, they're all gonna function the same. That is the reason why during tactical, you want to make sure that everybody in the alliance has the same weapon. Even if, there's somebody who has their favorite gun, that's cool, but you have to understand you have to train with this as well, just in case, your favorite gun is not available anymore. All right. The next thing is communications. Communications are going to be very important, especially when you get hit with an EMP or with a cyber attack, because once the TV gets, goes offline, there's no more internet or any other type of communications like cell phones and others. Having a ham radio is going to be important for you to be able to communicate not only with people outside your area, from your house in your city, but also from other people from another country. Because let's say that the United States does get nuked, but not Canada or not Mexico. If you have the ability to communicate with somebody in those countries and ask them, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard any explosions or anything like that, but the entire country has just gone dark. Do you have any information? And then they'll be able to tell you what's been reported in their countries about what's happening in the United States. And you'll have a better idea, especially if there's an invading force coming through. Let's say you live in Texas and, you're communicating with somebody in, let's just say, Australia. And they say, hey, man, they're telling us that there's an invading force coming through the southern border up into Texas, and they're going to be, in El Paso in 5 hours. If you're in El Paso, that's going to be very priceless information for you, because then you can know exactly where they're coming from and what you can expect, what type of resistance you can gather with the sheriffs and everybody else around. So that is the reason why communication is going to be important if this type of war does come around. All right, that's what we have to be ready. I already talked about energy. You know, a lot of people need it, but really the most important thing in your house that needs to be powered is not your internet, it's not your TV, you know, it's not the gadgets or anything like that. Really, the only two that are the most important in your entire house is your refrigerator and your stove, because one is going to keep your food from spoiling so fast, and the other one is going to help you cook, you know, because you can think, hey, you know, if I don't have power, I just can go outside and cook. But what if it's raining? What if it's pouring rain and you're not able to do it? All right, you'll say, well, I guess I'll grill in my grill outside. But what if you run out of charcoal, or you know, you didn't know that you were out of propane and stuff like that? That is the reason why having a way to cook inside your house is going to be very important. And the appliance is going to be more important for that. It's going to be your stove. All right, so hopefully, if you have an electric stove, you can have the redundancy of getting either a wood burning stove, or get a fireplace that's, you know, wood burning fireplace with a flat top to where you can cook on top of that. All right, those are the possibilities that you can get.
The Man-Made Survival Show.